Well, there was very little in it, so we should be in for an excellent race.
And sadly, this time Menu does manage to walk away with the pole, but I can definitely say my qualifying session went better than I thought it was going to go. I mean, I definitely looked faster than I did in the first session, and I qualified 10th. And behind one of the Hondas of Gabriele Tarquini, who must have had a horrible qualifying session, because Honda usually expect to be higher than that. But at least I can say I qualified ahead of one of the Volvos, so that is some positive news, but anyways, time for round 18 of the championship, and already off to a reasonable start. Already losing a spot to one of the Volvos, as I would have expected myself to do, and my teammate is right behind me, so really going to have to be careful through here. I don't want to get punted out of the way like I did in the first race. Pretty sure this is where shit's going to get intense, and got one of the Volvos ahead of me. Unfortunately, he was just going to be blocking me. I had to spin him out there, or else chaos was going to ensue, and I'm already up into 6th position in the course of just one lap, and already fallen down to 9th, and both the Volvos are apparently finding trouble at the moment, as I'm now already up into 8th position, and yo, my teammate Derek is actually inside the points. He's running in 9th at the moment. That's incredible. If only he can keep this up. And something tells me he won't, but if he does manage to stay where he is, this could be an incredible points day for Vauxhall, in my opinion. Because it will mean for the first time all season, we've actually had both cars finish inside the points. Because of that first lap chaos. So Derek's actually running good at the moment. He's actually running inside the points, which is one thing he's not been able to do all season long up to this point. And well, things at the moment, for me however, not going very well. I have no doubt in saying Menu probably is the leader. I have 1 Honda, 2 Audis and 2 Renaults I need to overtake if I'm going to get to the front. So, it looks as though going into Thruxton, if I can win this race, it will be a tiebreaker, which I can say is one of the sad things, considering everything that's happened up to this point, because I was really wanting to come away with the points lead, but I could still take the points lead by default of me having more wins than Menu. As of which, even though I do have more wins than him up to this point, I also seem to be less consistent. So, at the end of lap 2, as a result of me cutting the chicane, there are no track limit violations unless you go into the out of bounds area, in which case your lap time will just be deleted anyway, but you can cut the track to an extent, just as long as you don't do it excessively. I'm already up into the 3rd position now, as I am closing in on one of the Renaults. It looks to be Jason Plato who I am closing in on. And he is going to throw the block on me. I'm trying to dip to the outside. Unfortunately, Jason was not going to lift, and as a result he has now beached himself in the gravel. I have no doubt in saying it's probably Menu who is leading this race. I need to close down a 5.5 second advantage if I'm going to get to the front. I'm already finding a second on this lap, so maybe if it's possible I can beat my personal best lap time. And up to this point, everything seems to be going normally. I'm now up into 2nd position. It's only 4 seconds to Menu, as of which I am going to assume that was Plato who spun out once I got past him. And really trying to just hold on here. Trying to stay with the leading Renault. Hoping that I will manage to win this race and make it a tiebreaker going into Thruxton. I'm pretty sure we are both well ahead of Jason the way it currently stands. It doesn't look as though Menu is going to be finishing in third or lower, so I have to beat him here if it's going to be a tiebreaker going into Thruxton. We will be tied for the lead. I might even take the lead because I will technically have more wins than Menu, and I'm now up into the lead of the race at the end of lap 4. And oh, he spun me out. Fuck you. I should have known that was going to happen. Okay, that's it. I am out for revenge now. Where is he? I'm getting his ass. Wherever he is, I am gonna get his ass. You better be ready, motherfucker, because I am coming for you. There's no way I'm gonna let you get away with that one. I will hunt you down and I will find you. And I've got a 5.6 second interval I need to close up. Probably shouldn't have braked early once I got into turn 1, but again, I know very well that if I can at least get my revenge on Menu, then I should at least have some satisfaction. So 2 seconds is now the interval. I'm probably not going to walk away without getting a shot at revenge. Because in this game it is appropriate to show other drivers your actions of displeasure. So I think Menu is the number 2 driver, and Plato, I would think, is the... Oh, damn it. I spun him out, but he still hit me. Okay. Well, we both got going again. Oh no, I'm not letting you do that again. If you think I'm just gonna let you wreck me like that again, then you are wrong. This is not stock car racing, bud. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get for side drafting. You are not going to pull that shit on me again, you hear me? Sad to say I couldn't avoid him, but I really did try my hardest. There was practically nowhere I could have gone, and I'm into the out of bounds area, and oh god damn it! He retook the lead. Fucking hell. Now I am sad. Also, one of the Hondas is just behind me. Okay, I might have to mute myself just so I can get myself back up to the lead of this race. Okay, I'm going to mute myself for a few laps just so I can concentrate. I'll be back in a few minutes. Back for the lead now and retaking it as we begin lap 10. So it looks as though Menu is clearly not being a slouch today. He is going to fight me, and he is going to fight me hard here at Snetterton as I step on the brakes and more or less trying to brake check him in the process, trying to show him my displeasure for what he has done to me numerous times in the race already, but doesn't look as though he's going to lose second position unless he starts spinning multiple times up to this point. And we do know about how this sequence of corners is taken flat out, and I'm pretty sure the chaos is not done there, so that just pretty much shows him how I feel about the contact he's been making with me. I had to do something to showcase my displeasure because that's just how this game works. I know I'm not proud of what I do, but I desperately want to retake the championship lead, meaning that if I can manage to win this race, then it should put us in a tiebreaker going into Thruxton, and basically whoever outscores the other driver at Thruxton will officially be the leader going into the final 2 rounds of the season. And looks as though one of the Nissans got forced out wide there, as I'm now closing in on one of the Ford Mondeos, it would seem. Cannot tell if that's Hoy or Radicic who is running there, but earlier on, because of all the chaos, I was able to see... Oh, okay. Yep. You know, this race is just becoming a shit show. Basically, throughout the field, this race just seems to become a shit show, as far as I'm concerned. And it wouldn't surprise me if that is one of the Ford Mondeos that is up ahead of me. Although, if Derek still is running in the points up to this point in the race, that will surprise me, because, well, the Volvos are clearly faster, but, you know, if he does manage to stay in the points, then, you know, I will definitely give him a GG. If he is still running in the points up to this stage in the race, because of that first lap chaos that emerged. It's very much like the rest of this game, and pretty much like the Super Touring era period. And the Fords really do have a... It looks as though everyone just wants to keep crashing into that tyre wall for some reason. It's almost as if the tyre barrier seems to be a magnet or something for the AI to just keep running into. It's almost as if there's a magnet somewhere that's just, you know, practically forcing them into that tyre barrier, almost as if it's becoming a magnetic field or something. If Derek is still running in the points, by the way, then I will be shocked, as I am now coming through to overlap him. But still, he'll just finish in his normal position of 11th, because that seems to be the position he keeps finishing in for most races. But again, if he does manage to score a point before the end of the season, that will surprise me. Because even though he has been on the cusp of scoring points numerous times in this season, he's not managed to thread the needle and get the job done. And so, heading now onto lap 14, I am pretty much halfway through the race now and well clear of Menu in the leading Renault. I'm pretty sure the Volvos, both of them are in fact well ahead of Derek the way I see it. I don't think he's going to be scoring points unless one of them drops out. Although both of them did have trouble at the start of the race, even though I'm pretty sure by now both of them have pretty much managed to get back into the points in spite of that first lap chaos, which was partly caused by me. And I can definitely see one of the Volvos who was up there. And we now go on to lap 15 here in race 2 at Snetterton. And up to this point, it's pretty clear to say that I definitely have the fastest car here at Snetterton. I don't think my teammate is going to score a point, as I'm now coming through to overlapping one of the Volvos. And oh my god, that could have been disaster. That could have easily gone a lot worse than it actually did. But yeah, I mean, as tragic as it might sound, it doesn't look as though my teammate is going to score points. I think it's going to be both the Volvos who wind up scoring those final 2 points, but again, I can definitely say it was worth a shot to see if he would manage to score points. Sadly, that does not look to be the case. Every team has pretty much scored points with the exception of Ford, who I think are still pointless up to this point and will pretty much remain pointless up till, I believe, the end of the season, unless there is some real chaos in the 2 upcoming races. So, I really don't know where the Volvos are running, but I'm pretty sure they're at the bottom of the points. Doesn't look as though anyone is going to be contesting with them for 10th position. I know it may feel sad, but I think the Volvos have pretty much found their way back into the points, unless they're at the very back of the field, in which case I don't think anyone who I've already overlapped is going to be scoring points. And it looks as though the leading Volvo is now closing in on one of the Audis, who is closing in on some lapped traffic as well. Oh, Volvo, please! Okay. I really thought for sure something disastrous was going to happen there, but fortunately it didn't. And we now have just 6 laps to go here at Snetterton, overlapping a Ford Mondeo once again, as I now begin lap number 18. 6 laps to go here at Snetterton, and it looks as though it is going to be another weekend sweep, and it also looks as though myself and Menu are going to be tied heading into Thruxton. So I think if I can manage to outscore Menu in the next 2 races, then that should give me the points lead. But I'm really going to have to make sure I keep beating Menu on a consistent basis if I am going to be at the top of the championship officially. So, heading through this somewhat hexagonal sequence of corners, and through the chicane we go once again, and doesn't look as though I am going to be losing this race. And now beginning lap 19 here at Snetterton. And beginning my pursuit of what I think is the leading Audi, although it could be one of the Nissans I'm chasing, but you know. So now heading into this flat out sequence of corners once again, and now heading up to the chicane, making sure I actually don't miss my marks as I hit him. And it is one of the Nissans I can see just up ahead. So 4 laps to go here at Snetterton as I now come up to overlap the leading Nissan of David Leslie, who has just run very wide there, pretty much well off into the distance as I overlapped him. So glad to say he did not spin me out in the process. It's a pretty comfortable victory I will be taking, just like I did in the first race, and hopefully if everything goes righteously, then I should be the leader by default of me having more wins. I know it's going to be a tiebreaker, but I think by default of me having more wins across the season, I may be given the championship lead by default, or so I would think. But anyways, clearing the Audi and now coming up to lap the leading Ford, it appears, as we now have just 3 laps to go in race 2. It's going to be a pretty dominant win the way I see it. And now heading on to the backstretch, and the Ford is going... oh, okay, it gives me the room. So the leading Ford knows he is not fighting me for the win. He decides to give me the fighting room, and that I can say is he's definitely done his job correctly. And coming to overlap what appears to be one of the Nissans, I think, because I've already overlapped both of the Volvos, and heading into this final chicane once again, I'm now officially closing in on the Nissan. He does give me the fighting room on the outside. He does not plan on fighting me for his lead lap position, or to just stay one lap down. And I'm also coming up to overlap my teammate once again. And thankfully he does manage to hold on to the position. And so doesn't look as though I'm going to be losing this race. I will have pretty much overlapped most of the field by the time I receive the white flag. So the white flag lap should be coming up next time around. I am an absolute country mile ahead of the rest of the field, and now we shall begin the final lap here at Snetterton. And I am trying to keep up with how many wins I've already scored this season. I've definitely scored more than half of them up to this point, but my inconsistency has been keeping me behind Menu, so if I can manage to win this race, then hopefully we should be tied for points. If my math is correct, we should be tied for first heading into Thruxton for our second visit. And it seems as though all seems to be well. I've not been given any dangerous driving warnings, unlike Donington. Which was the halfway point of the season, and it is going to be the Snetterton sweep. So anyways, there we go. I win! Again.
The new Vauxhall driver is really storming this season, and another victory moves the team further up in the Constructors' Championship. So let's see the final results.
So, unfortunately, Menu did finish second in the end. Plato was third. Then we had the two Hondas of Tarquini and Thompson. David Leslie finishes sixth for Nissan, ahead of Frank Bieler, so finishing ahead of both of the Audis. And once again, my teammate, who did actually run inside the points earlier, still winds up coming in 11th because of how much slower his car is. Still, to say he was running in the points earlier in the race, that does give me some notice.
Let's see the championship standings. Anything could still happen, but look who's in the lead.
Yes, Tiff, look who is in the lead. So we are going to be tied for points heading into Thruxton, and then once I have managed to outscore Menu, that should put me on top in points, but I am going to have to beat him in both races if I am going to officially take the lead in the championship. We still have 6 rounds left, so anything can still happen, but I do have some confidence in saying I can at least take this championship down to the wire. So, a perfect 30 points, once again scored, as I have now done that for the past 2 weekends, and next time we will be returning to Thruxton. And furthermore, I have now unlocked some gold cheats, which is interesting. So, finished first in 5 out of the last 6 races, and now let's move on to Thruxton.